Welcome to the Service Industry Podcast. I've spent the last decade as a CEO, operator, and business builder selling tens of millions of dollars in products and services. I, just like many of you, started with nothing. My mission for this podcast is to help you become the greatest version of yourself, help you grow and scale your business, and create the life you've always dreamed of. I'm your host, Matt Smith. Enjoy the episode. What is going on, everybody? Matt here from the Service Industry Podcast. This is, episode 254. We're getting up there, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for dealing with my little bit of inconsistency over the last week. I know I normally try to at least put 2 out a week, and last week I missed altogether, so I'm sorry. I've just been really busy around here, and all is good, man. Everybody that I'm talking to right now in the home service business world is kind of experiencing this thing we call the spring rush, where homeowners like to wait to do anything until like everybody on the same day sees the sun, and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to get this done right now. And then it's just chaos. So we, at least up here in Michigan, where we're a little bit more seasonal, we kind of weather the storm for a month or two, and then it kind of hunkers back down into normal routine. But we're here. Before we dive into this episode, I want to remind you guys I own ServiceIndustryCoach.com. We help home service businesses. You know, I always say all over the country, but really all over the world, Australia, the UK, with design work. We do a ton of branding, logo designs, truck wraps. We do print marketing up the wazoo. Anything you can think of, we do. We have helped hundreds and hundreds of home service businesses scale from 6 to 7 figures with our marketing strategies. So if you want my help, go to ServiceIndustryCoach.com. You can also check out our coaching packages on there. And as always, I put the link in the show notes to make it easy on y'all. And then last but not least, if you haven't joined the free Facebook group, that link is also always in the show notes and is available to anybody who owns a home service business. Go join. Tell me what you do. I want to accept you in there, get to know everybody. It's a good spot to be. So rock on. All right, let's dive in. So this episode's actually a little bit inspired by a couple coaching calls I've had over the last few days, all good. And it's this trap that I see entrepreneurs fall in, specifically in the home service business space. And I'm going to talk about why that is. I think it can happen in other industries as well, and other, spaces, but primarily I see this happen in the home service business space. And I want to talk about it because I want to help you guys avoid as much as humanly possible, because there's always going to be ups and downs in business. But I want to help you guys avoid the ups and downs with revenue and work and consistency inside of your business as much as possible. We know that sales are the lifeline of a business. If we don't have sales, we have massive problems. I told one of my coaching clients today, I said, hey, outside of sales, all those problems are very, very manageable and solvable. No sales is the scariest problem in a business to have. And kind of what sparked this whole conversation was over the last few days, I've had a handful of coaching clients who are crushing right now. They're doing really good. They're implementing systems and processes and doing the homework I'm telling them to, and they're out lead generating and they're doing the dang thing. And would you know it, right? A month goes by, 2 months goes by, and we start hopping on these coaching calls, and we're like, dude, everything's just kind of rolling, okay? And what ends up happening, and this happens a lot in the home service business space, like I said, is this is what people do. They go out and they do the things that are required to do in order to get really busy. And by the way, this can take a while to build momentum, right? And when I say momentum, if you've ever been busy, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like everything's rolling. The jobs are coming in, the phone's ringing off the hook, you're out actually doing the work, and everything's going really well. And before you know it, you're like, holy crap, dude, we are swamped. Like we're swamped to the gills. We have no more room to take people on. And so this is what always happens. Not always, most of the time, is everything that person or company was doing in order to get themselves to the point, right? They started and they're going, I need jobs. What do I do? We give them all this homework to go do it. In over 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 weeks, right? They start to build momentum in their business. And then they go from saying, I need jobs to, I can't take any more work on. And what most people do in the home service business space is at that time, they turn everything off. Okay. And if not everything, almost everything. They stop knocking the door. They stop cold calling. They stop sending cold emails. They stop doing direct mail. They turn down their Google ads, whatever the case is. And then what happens is they go from being so busy that it's hard to handle to being back to where they were at in the beginning within a matter of a couple of weeks. And then they go, oh crap, I'm getting slow again. I gotta turn everything back on. But it doesn't work like that. You don't just get to flip the switch and think the floodgates open again. There's this thing called momentum, and it happens in your life and it happens in your business. And momentum is not something that you flip on and off. Momentum is something that you build, and it takes time to build momentum. So when I see these guys or gals flipping off the momentum switch because they're too busy, I always say, I'm warning you. If you don't keep doing the things that you did to get you to where you are going to be starting over in 2, 3, 4 weeks. And not only will you be starting over, but you'll be starting from scratch because you will have lost all of your momentum and you will have to rebuild it. And so this is the biggest mistake I see business owners make. Any person I know successful in the home service business space who knows marketing and knows lead generation knows that what I'm saying right now is as true as it gets. And so I want to encourage you, and this is not going to be a long podcast because this is a very simple lesson. And here's the deal. I've told countless, probably at this point, hundreds of people this before. And most of them still don't listen because they go, well, Matt, what am I supposed to do? Keep advertising when I can't handle the work? Well, let me ask you a question. How far out are you booked? Well, I'm booked out 4 weeks. Okay. Why aren't we adding another crew? This is how we grow. This is part of growing a business. It's uncomfortable. You push the envelope. You do things that are hard that most other people aren't willing to do. And so, yes, the answer is I expect you to keep doing what you're doing. If you want a business that's growing and going to make you lots of money and will be sellable one day, then of course. But if we're going to get in this cycle of we're going to push really, really hard for a couple months, get busy, stop doing everything, do all the work really fast, 2-3 weeks later, dead. Work really, 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 really hard, right? Takes another 2-3 months to get busy again. Work for 2-3 weeks, dead. If we're going to do that cycle, that's exhausting because you have so many highs and lows. And 1 week you're screaming and you're at the top of the world, man. You're crushing. And the next week you're wondering if you're going to be able to keep your employees on payroll because you don't have enough work coming in. When really the only thing that you did wrong was stop doing what got you to where you were wanting to go in the first place. Okay, so the next time you're busy, and maybe that's for some of you right now, especially in the spring season, like, listen, if you're not busy in the spring, you're doing something wrong. Okay, not much is going to change as the year goes on. Like in the home service business world, spring is king. Okay, this is a money-making season. No matter how you shape it up, no matter where you're at in the country, people are spending money right now. And so if you're not busy right now, something's wrong. But if you are busy and you're at that point where you're like, I'm maxed out. Cool, man. Congrats. How do we scale? What do we need to do to take on more work? We're booked out 4 weeks. Can we add another crew? And then we're down to 2 weeks, right? And now guess what? Instead of turning off our marketing, we can actually increase it and we can get more jobs now. And this is how the game works. So it's not a hard concept to understand. However, in the moment when you're really overwhelmed and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take another phone call. We're booked out. I don't have time for this. That's not a marketing problem or a job problem or a lead generation problem. That's just a scaling pain point. Okay. Congrats. You've hit a wall and it's time to pivot so you can take on more customers. Okay, you wonder how companies get to 5, 10, 20, 100 trucks. My buddy had over 100 trucks in his pest control business. Do you think he got there by turning marketing on, getting busy, turning it off, getting slow, turning it on, getting busy, etc.? No. He turned it on, got really busy, added another crew, turned it up, got busier again, added another crew, turned it up, and so on. Like, this is the game. And it's painful and it's hard. But after you do it a couple of times, like, you guys will just get numb to it. You'll get used to it. And like, here's what I always say about entrepreneurship. When I'm out of the game, meaning I'm not like really grinding, trying to build, if I'm not like in build mode and my life is just straight peace, no stress, no nothing, I almost feel like something's wrong. Because like, as an entrepreneur, we're freaks. We kind of actually, to some degree, enjoy a little bit of pressure. At least for me, like, I like going home, and I don't like living under pressure 24/7. That's not what I'm saying, but I like a little bit of pressure where it's like, man, this is kind of hard. Because I know if it's kind of hard for me, it's hard for everybody. And I know most people quit when things get hard. So if I can just push through it, like, there's a really good chance I'm going to end up in the top 10% at minimum. Likely probably like top 1%. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys because that's a massive critical mistake that almost everybody in the home service business space does. Almost everybody. But if you can be the guy that goes, hey, when we get overwhelmed because we're so busy, we're just going to add another truck and another employee. And then we're just going to keep doing what we're doing and maybe more. Maybe we'll have more bandwidth and we can run more ads, knock more doors, call more businesses, whatever it is you're doing to generate leads. And so I thought I'd share that with you guys today. And if you actually implement that, you'll grow a lot faster. And not only will you grow faster, but running the business will just be a lot less stressful. Because again, you won't be wondering certain weeks how you're going to make payroll and other weeks how you're making so much money. The goal is to make things as even-keeled as possible, to have very few ebbs and flows in your revenue. And with that, it'll be more enjoyable to run and grow the business. So hope you guys find that valuable. I hope more than that, you implement it in your business. And if it helps, shoot me an email and let me know. Love to hear from you guys. I'll see you on the next episode. Peace. Thank you for listening to this episode of the podcast. As always, if you need any help marketing your business or want to work with me directly doing one-on-one coaching, visit serviceindustrycoach.com. We'll see you on the next episode.